Hey guys, welcome to another episode from Stacy Here We Grow Again. Today I'm going to do this video for everyone out there having problems with aloes. I know Clueless Homesteaders requested this video, so I just wanted to do this for you and let you know how to take care of them. They're really actually easy to take care of. And if you're first starting out with succulents, they are the easiest to have in the beginning versus these little tedious guys right here. This is a little powder puff I have, and these I moved out here because they really need a lot of sun. You can see that they're stretching, and that's what happens to these little succulents. They start stretching, they start losing their color, getting green, and you can see she's starting to get really purple now. She's getting outlines with that purple color, so I know she's getting the adequate sun that she needs. And these little California sunsets, if you go back on my succulent video, guys, you can see that I grow these indoors, but I left them out here for the past 3 days, I think it's been, since I did that video, because I wanted to show you how red they've been. Look how red they get in the sunlight. When you actually give them the amount of sunlight they need, and you know you're giving them the right amount of sun, they start turning the right color. So this is a California sunset. It gets like pinkish, golden, and bronze. You can see that. And it gets a little green color too. And we had cut and regrew this one. That's a ghosty. And I just wanted to show you that this is the right amount of sun for this California sunset, because it's a rosette-shaped California sunset. You can tell that these little rosette star-shaped ones, they just require a little more sun than these aloes. So there's different types of aloes, guys. There's regular aloes here, which are, you know, what you put on your skin for cuts and stuff, which is aloe vera. And then there's these little aloe wamsleys, which are variegated. And these little guys, let me tell you, they were a little stump. They were just a twig. I mean, it looked like a dead twig, literally. And I had this coming back from root rot. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 babies off of that one little twig that we grew, and these rooted really nice. You can see they're all growing. It's been quite a few months. It took, when these got root rot really bad, it took about a good 3 weeks for them to start growing again, coming back from that, to get that root rot out of there, clouse over, dry out. And then I planted them up in dry succulent soil, and this is what we got. So we fixed that root rot, and I want to show you exactly how we did that. Now you're gonna have to pull your succulent out, whatever it is that you're fixing. You know, aloes and stuff like that, they love indirect but bright sunlight. You can see how green they get in indirect but bright light. If they get too much sunlight, they'll start turning black and start wilting and deflating and just really losing their color and starting to turn like purplish. I want to see if you can see this, but this I left outside in the sun for a few days, and it's starting to turn purple because that's just too much sun. They don't need this direct sunlight. So indirect but bright light, no direct sun at all, and they will be just fine for you. They're great houseplants. They grow best inside, actually, because they don't need a lot of light, just bright indirect light. And what you want to do is, if your aloe's not growing or you think you don't have any roots, like I know you don't, Clueless Homesteaders, that's okay, we're gonna fix it for you. What you want to do is inspect this area, make sure you're not brown, make sure, you know, if you do have a root on it, it's nice and white like this one is. You can see it has one lonely soul root on it, because this has literally been growing for like a year without roots. A year. That's crazy, guys. It just keeps pushing out new growth on top and starts, you know, killing off the bottom, and that's how it stays alive. So these are pretty awesome. And what you want to do is inspect the roots, take off any damaged stuff that's on here. So any mushy, rotted roots you want to take off, leaving the stem intact. You see that stem, you want to leave it intact, and you only want to bury these guys up to about here, where that root is kind of starting, half of that stem. You don't want to bury up to this top leaf because you're going to end up rotting it out. So take off all that dead, leave it out on a counter for a good few days. Let that enclouse, make sure you got a good scab on it. Get some dry succulent soil with some nice amount of perlite in there. I use a lot of perlite in my succulent soils because we get a lot of rot here in Florida. It just happens. We have a lot of moisture in the air. I grow succulents. Oh, look, see, that root came off. So this is what keeps happening to me. The roots keep falling off. I'm so happy this happened because, you know, this is what's been happening to these little guys. I can't get these to keep rooted because, especially wintertime right now, they're just going to keep rotting out on me. So what I'm going to do is dunk this little guy in rooting hormone. It's been 6 months. These guys aren't rooting like these beautiful guys and those aloes. So no matter what aloe you have, take off all that rot. You can see that it was healthy, but it just fell off of there. They're so tedious and tender at this stage. And I'm going to dunk this in rooting hormone to kind of kickstart this off. But you can see it's not rotted. We're pretty good. That's not rot, that's a scab. And that's what you're supposed to have. And then after we dunk this in rooting hormone, let me see if I can grab it. Hang on, guys. I'm going to go grab it really quick. Okay, guys, so I went and got the rooting hormone. I have two different kinds. Powder for the soil when you're planting in soil. And this Clonex rooting compound is liquid for my clones in my, for my cuttings, my herb cuttings, plant cuttings. This is my cloning hormone for that. I just dunked the end in it. And we're going to do the powder one today. So since this is not growing a lot of roots and it keeps rotting off and it's been a year, literally a year, it's kind of crazy. I'm just going to help it along by giving it some rooting hormone. I've never done this because succulents really don't need this. But we're going to just dab it in there. And you want to just tap it off. Make sure you're not getting clumps of powder on there. And then you're going to just leave it in here like this. Now, I shouldn't have pulled this little guy out. This little guy was planted like this one, and you can see the root on it. And that's why you don't want to touch them, because once they start pushing out a nice root on them, that root can fall off. And we don't want that to come off because it's taken so long to grow that little healthy root. And you can see it's nice and white and healthy, and this is the way they're supposed to look. So I'm going to gently plant this back in here, but before I do that, I'm going to kind of put some powder on it, and I really don't want to mess this root up, so I'm just going to dunk it in there. Just tap it, and then we're going to plant right back in here. And we're not going to water this. This can take like 3 weeks to not water, a week to 3 weeks. You might not have to give your succulent, your little aloe here that's rotted out, or succulent that's rotted out, water, because it's just going to encourage rot, and they'll just keep growing. They will be fine. They should be just fine for you as long as you take all that rot off. Just leave them in here in indirect sunlight. Never any bright light, direct sunlight for these guys, any aloe you have, and you'll be good to go. I really only water these guys, all of my aloes, once a month, so that's pretty much it. And you'll know this little aloe has roots on it when you give your aloe just a little bit of a tug and you feel some tension on it. Then you know it's rooted enough and you can start soaking your pot all the way through. So in a week or so to 3 weeks, you want to make sure you don't water this temporarily. Just forget about it. Forget about it for like 3 little weeks. And then come and check on it. See if you have a little root on it. You can pull it up. Just see if you have a little root. And if you do, then you know you're okay to give it just a little bit of water. I spray with a sprayer first. And then in a few months to a month, because in the winter they're not growing right now, so you don't want to be pouring them with water and thinking they need water, because they don't. These aloes in the winter time, I only water these maybe once a month to once every 2 months. So once they start getting little baby roots on them in a few weeks, spray them with a sprayer, just a little bit once every few weeks, and then you know when you have a good established root system on it like this. This is one aloe in here. Then you can go ahead and soak this pot all the way through. And always make sure your pot is big enough for your aloe so it's not tipping over. So these plastic pots are gonna stay wet for a lot longer than terracotta pots, than them glazed pots. Glazed pots are gonna stay wet for a long time too. So these plastic pots, glazed pots are gonna stay wet for a long time. These plastic pots are gonna stay wet. And terracotta pots is really the best thing to go with if you're having a problem with rotting succulents in your area. I put a few in terracotta pots here that were just sensitive to the cold and watering and things like that. But as far as these guys go, this is really big for this container. It looks good. It's green. Doesn't need water. As long as these leaves are plump, you're good to go. And oh, there goes my succulent. Look what I just did, guys. I do this all the time because I flail all over the place. Look at that. So I'm going to have to repot this like I was going to anyway. We didn't damage it, thank goodness, but you can see the root system on there. I really wanted to see what kind of root system it had anyway, so God did that for me, I guess. He's telling me to repot that. And you can see just how big this is from these little guys. That's what they look like. That's how they started. And that's just due to not watering, letting it be indirect bright light. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to repot your plants whenever you need it. Like this one's going to need to be repotted because it's just going to be flopping all over the place and falling down like that one just did. That just shows you need to repot when you're doing that. So till next time, guys, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you fix your succulents. in the best way possible. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video with friends on your social media and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, guys, and good luck with your aloes, clueless homesteaders. If you need any more help, let me know and I'll be more than happy to do another video for you. Bye-bye.